Hello, everybody. It is Kelly O'Neill, and we are back with another Profitology case study with not only a woman that I love and admire tremendously, she is also my client that is started out in the Profitology Business Incubator, and now she's in our Profitology Business Academy and is crushing it. And she is here to talk about why collaboration makes such a huge difference in your business. Welcome, Miss Wendy Sterling of Divorce Rehab.
Hi, so good to see you. Thank you for having me.
I am thrilled to have you here. I'm trying to get us at the same height here. Oh. There we go. Okay. There we go. It was bothering me there for a minute. So, Miss Wendy, tell everyone a little bit about your amazing business that you are up to.
Sure. Well, I am a divorce recovery specialist, and I invite women into my signature proprietary program called Divorce Rehab, where I help women to end their pity party, mourn the loss of their marriage, and to begin living and designing a life that they choose from a place of dignity. So I have a
Love it.
So I take them through a 5-step program to help them go from I do to I did to I'm done. And it's based on the acronym of Rehab.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about how long have you been in business?
So I have been in business specifically against this target audience now for a little over a year.
Okay, perfect. But you had a lot of business experience in your background.
Yes.
So what were you doing previous to starting your business?
Yeah, so I spent 18 years in corporate America in an advertising sales position. So I worked for some very prestigious women's lifestyle brands like Refinery 29 and Who What Wear, where I went out into the marketplace and sold branded content integrations, experiential opportunities, working with influencers. And I did that for quite some time until I went through my own divorce. And it was through that I found the world of coaching, which was the only thing that helped me to get through to the other side. And as a result of what I experienced and what I learned, I decided to create my own program around the healing process that I took myself through, along with my coach, to help other women. So using all of my marketing background and my media background really helped me, but you saved the day with strategy and how to reach my target audience, which is a more affluent woman.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about that. So you started up your business, and here's what I want you guys to all know. You know, Wendy started her business with a ton of marketing experience. Somehow, for some reason, for all of us, it is not just Wendy, it is me. It is so much harder to do stuff for your own business than it is. Like, you could probably turn around and like look at other people's stuff and be like, oh, why aren't you doing this, 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 and this? Right? But then you look at your own business and you get the like I don't know why is this not working? So you had like been in a bunch of other programs, and what was it about, you know, what was not working for you that all of a sudden, because you didn't know what wasn't working, you just knew it wasn't working. But then you learned about the Profitology process. What was not working beforehand? Like what was going on for you?
So what I realized is that I was doing a whole lot of talking and no one was listening because there wasn't consistency across the board in my messaging. You know, as you would say, I step skipped. Doesn't help any of us. Instead of getting super clear on my message, who I was, what I stood for, what my program was, I was already into marketing because that's what I knew, and was going out to market where I thought I was conveying who I was. But at the end of the day, it was so confusing because I hadn't done the clarity piece first. So when I met you, you helped me get crystal clear and sharp clear around who my audience was, and also what made me unique, what made me different. While the divorce space is extremely niche still, it's not like I went out and said I'm a health coach, which, you know, there's a lot more clutter. But regardless, I'll never forget one of the things you said is that, you know, you don't have any competition because nobody else is you. And you really helped me to figure out and own what exactly makes me unique. And one of the other reasons why I absolutely love and adore you is, I mean, you are bold, and I respect you for that. And, you immediately were like, no, you need to be bold. Like, that's who you are. Like, own it, be it. And you really encouraged me to step into that lens, because that is what makes me unique. And really, there's nobody else like me out there. So you really helped me get clear not only on me, but then also understand who my target was and what the best avenues were to reach them when combined with the right message. So you helped me, as your strategist background is to really come up with language that would resonate with my audience. It wasn't fluff, it was memorable.
And the other thing too is that not only does it resonate, and this is really important, you guys, in your messaging, not only does it resonate with your audience, the person it has to resonate with first is you. Because you have to be able to really, it's not even just like saying stuff, you need to be able to embody it in a way that when you say it, and that was the other thing too, Wendy is like, because I know her well now, and she's sassy. She's sassy and she's bold, and she's going to tell you what she thinks, and she is going to, and she's still super sweet and super loving and super compassionate, but she's also going to tell you exactly what she thinks. And I was reading her messaging, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like you. This sounds like a school marm. I'm like, you're so not that person. Like, I'm like, let's give this some flash. Let's get you in there. And when you started doing that, that was huge for you.
Yes, it was game changing.
Okay. The other thing is that you were primarily utilizing it online marketing methods, primarily.
Yes.
And I think for a couple different reasons, that was not working out for you at that time. Why is that?
I mean, honestly, it was because, well, it was two things. It was, I didn't have a clear strategy or message, number one. And number two was, I realized that while my woman is utilizing social media, she hides. And it's not something that she's willing to put herself out there on social media to talk about. And so what you helped me to understand, even though I knew that, what you helped me to understand is that I'm the secret sauce. I'm the one that has to get them to come out of their shell and engage in conversation. And that takes in-person, one-on-one call, in-person interactions. So being in places where, powerful women are, where women are who, again, are divorced women, are entrepreneurs, they're corporate America, they're moms, they go work out, they go out and live lives outside of their divorce. And then to also encourage me to get on calls with people, because me is what is the secret sauce, right? And you can't do that through a Facebook ad.
Right, exactly. And you guys, it's not that online marketing is bad. Wendy eventually is going to move into that because it's going to become necessary for her business, and for her to be able to spread that brand awareness and spread that messaging, it's going to become necessary. But when you are in a cash flow stage, when you are looking to get to that first $100,000, you want to be as direct as humanly possible. So introduce, collaborate to accelerate. Yeah. And we flip your business strategy over. And you took that strategy and lit it on fire. Tell everyone here what you specifically did in your business that has now got you creating the results that you're now getting.
Sure. So the collaborate to accelerate model is really, it's all about giving. It's not about you. It's about creating connections with people and getting to know who they are and how you can support them in business, and trusting that a day will come when they want to help you. And in best case scenario, during the course of the call, they'll ask eventually, how can they support you back?
Yes.
People are very used to getting calls with people wanting something from them. So when, you know, as you always teach with Collaborate to Accelerate, it's really all about sort of, you surprise them when you say, you know, I'm really fascinated with the work that you're doing, or I see that you and I align in our messaging. I would really love to learn how I can help support you in your efforts. What can I do for you? And people were caught so off guard. Not only was I collaborating to accelerate within the PBI family, but I was also collaborating outside. So you also really helped me to see what other business professionals or network marketing organizations that I should be going out and connecting with, to, again, collaborate to accelerate, set up phone calls, or just pick up the phone and call, or send emails out to businesses, small business owners. You know, divorced women are everywhere. They work out. They, you know, they still do self-care. They go to nail salons. You know, I reached out within the professionals community, lawyers, mediators, financial planners, real estate agents, and just started having conversations with them. And also being very mindful of the areas that I was reaching out to those businesses and to those people, because my audience is more affluent. So I live in Los Angeles. I'm going to be looking at Beverly Hills. I'm going to be looking at Malibu before I may be looking at, you know, Northridge, for example. And there's nothing wrong with people who live in those neighborhoods. It's just that I know who my target is. And so through the Collaborate to Accelerate model, I've developed so many different relationships across so many different industries and with so many different people that it not only elevated our credibility, but I am now somebody that they come to because they know that they can rely on me to not only support them, but because I've supported them in such a powerful way that they are wanting to work and help me. So now I'm top of the list on their radar. And that took, I mean, almost 8 months of me working from the moment I started working Collaborate to Accelerate. In 8 months of getting in touch with that community, or I guess I would even say 6 months of really networking in the divorce community, I now am really close friends with all of the top divorce professionals that have that notoriety in the business, media personalities, like women who are on weekly news shows being experts. I now have a direct line of communication to. And what's also helped is in that process, I've also been able to refer PBI members to those connections that I've made and vice versa. And it's such a beautiful model because you feel so much better when you're giving without the intention of receiving. And you have to trust that it's going to come back to you at some point, because it always does. And everybody else.
And it did.
And they did. And they keep coming. I mean, as you said, my business has exploded. I'm being asked to be on podcasts. I am, you know, being asked to be involved in panels that never would have come to me had I not developed these relationships. So it's really trusting that the time and the place will come when they come back to you, but be in service. That's what it's all about.
I love it. I love it. And look, you know, she did it. You know, she did the work. She was willing to do it. I mean, didn't you even go out to Malibu and walk different businesses and be like, hi, my name's Wendy. You know, I love your place. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to see how I can support you. I mean, you now have so many connections, because who does that? You know, people are just like, oh, let me just throw something on Facebook and see if it lands and hopefully I get a client. Like, you did it. And now literally, like, you're right. It was like within that 6-month period. And was it really even 6 months? Because didn't you spend the first couple months really getting like your messaging and your offer straight and everything else?
It's probably like 3 months.
3 months of actually working that, I mean, she's getting booked on podcasts right and left. She is getting booked on stages right and left. She is getting clients. Do you mind telling them about your women's dinners?
Oh yeah. So I also,
this is a good one, you guys. This is a good one all of you could do.
Yeah, so I have committed myself to creating meetup dinners. So, you know, again, I live here in Los Angeles and I use Meetup. It's public app. Everybody can use it. And there's different meetings on there. And so what I've used Meetup for is I created a group. And in order for me to build it, I went into other divorce groups, introduced myself to those people and invited them into my Meetup group. And I have been hosting monthly dinners for, anywhere from 4 to 6 women where we get together, because one of the big things about divorced community and divorced women especially is you don't feel like you have a sense of community. So the intention of my dinner is to create conversation, is to create community, is to create support. And subliminally, obviously, they're getting me, who is a certified life coach, divorce recovery specialist, where throughout the course of the conversation, I'm also intertwining in there, a little bit of my coaching to help get them through to a place where they feel more confident.
And I would not call it subliminally. I would just say, like, by party, they're getting that because they know that that's what you do. It's not like you're trying to be sneaky at all. Right.
No, okay. So I'm definitely not trying to. And I ask permission.
Right. And so they're getting this great, and so they're getting this great, and then they're having this great experience at this dinner with you. And then what happens?
And then they contact me and ask how we can work together.
And in your first one, all of them were like, oh my gosh, this has been so amazing. Like, we want to stay together as a group. Like, we want to keep doing this.
Yes. Yeah. So I have, for that group of women, because we actually had a pretty emotional meal. It was also in December. It was around the holidays, which is a really hard time for us ladies going through divorce, especially if you don't have your kids. And so we all really bonded that night, and it was beautiful. The dinner wound up going 3.5 hours. And they all asked if we could stay together, and they wanted to keep their group together. So what I've done is I've created a separate group now for that intimate group of women, so that we can still stay connected with each other. And it's beautiful. And now I meet once a month with them, and I'm still continuing to filter in new dinners.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys, so this is one of the things, Wendy is really, this is your primary at this point. This is your primary business strategy, right? Like the core, all of the other stuff is coming from it. The speaking is coming from it. The podcasting is coming from it. But basically, the number one thing you're using in your business right now is the Collaborate to Accelerate model.
Yes, 100%.
And tell them, let's just celebrate you for a minute. Do you want to tell them what happened today?
Yeah, I'd love to. So again, it's in celebration of Collaborate to Accelerate. So one of my fellow PBI members posted an opportunity, because she knows a lot of us work with women in their 40s and 50s. And she posted an organization called Second Act Women and notified us that they existed and that they always do events and we should reach out. And I immediately did. And I was selected as one of the finalists to be on one of their stages this year. And I actually had my pitch this morning. So Kelly worked with me to organize what my 10-minute outline of a workshop would look like. And, because divorce is so it's so niche, we strategize to talk about it from a trauma perspective, so it would appeal to more people within the organization. But yet I specialize in divorce, but I still I still work around trauma. And today I had my pitch, and at the end of the call, they invited me to participate. I was hired right on the spot, and I've locked in another speaking engagement, which I'm thrilled about. And they even want me to be on more than just, they have different segments. And so they want me to be on at least 2.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. That is amazing. That is amazing. So you guys, this is, I'd like you to write down below, like, what are some of the things that you learned about this, right? What are some things that you can take from what Wendy's sharing with you about how she's executed this in her own business? What are some things that you could bring into your own business? Because that's why we're doing these. I mean, well, obviously we're doing these for 2 reasons. Number one, so that you guys can learn about the strategies that are working, and you can also learn a little bit about the PBI difference. So let's talk about that. You've been in a lot of programs before. And look, again, I don't want to bash any programs, because there's a lot of really amazing programs out there. It's just, sometimes they're just not the right time for what it is that you specifically need. So you've tried a lot of programs.
Yeah. Oh yes. A lot of money. I wish I found you first.
And everything happens for a reason. But when you found PBI, what was it that made you go, huh? Like, I really need to look into this.
Oh, it was this summit, Marketing to Millionaires. I did it live. I booked off my day and I was doing it live and in sync with how you were launching all the videos. I was posting my homework. I committed to it and I implemented one of your strategies. I think it was after the 2 o'clock, whatever the 2 o'clock segment was. And I had a call scheduled with a woman that I was trying to enroll in my program. And after being in I think it was the 4th video that I watched that day, I used the strategies that you taught us on the call because I figured, what the hell? Like, what am I going to lose? Nothing. Like, I only have to gain with this.
Let me give it a good old college try and see what happens.
Because what I've been doing isn't working. And I used your script, I used your strategy, and I had her signed and verbally committed by the time you and I got on a hot seat. And it was a done deal. So within 3 hours, I had a new client and I was like, holy crap, this woman knows what she's doing. She gets my target. She gets what I'm trying to do. She's encouraging me to speak the way I want to speak. Like, I'm in. I mean, it wasn't even a hesitation. It was like, where do I sign? I'm in.
And now you're so funny. And now that you're on the other side, because, I always try to communicate, and even we were on a call this morning with our PBI, with our PBI students. That's Profitology Business Incubator, because I know some of you are going to be watching replays of this. And so I do an intensive every quarter. And so what Wendy's talking about is I did an intensive. It's absolutely free. And, we let people see how we work, and we teach them an entire one strategy, which obviously PBI has loads more strategies than that, but we teach them just the one strategy, and so that they can get a feel if this is the right thing for them. And then I always try to tell people what PBI is like. But even we just had a bunch new people enroll, and even that they're like, I know you said that, I heard you say this, but like I couldn't even, like, I didn't even expect this. Like, there were no words for what they experienced now this morning. So in your own words, like, what makes PBI so different than everything else out there? And who do you think it's a good fit for?
Yeah, no. So, I mean, the one thing it's the culture. I mean, you are the culture of PBI, and you attract such an incredible group of people, men and women. It's your energy. It's the culture that you set with your team. It trickles down into the group. As Kelly said, I have been in a lot of programs, and never have I been a part of a program where this truly feels like a family. This group, and I mean, I think we're at bigger numbers than when even I started, and it hasn't changed. Yeah. Just because we're growing doesn't mean that there's a loss in the culture, or there's a loss in the family feel. Everybody supports each other. We all rally behind each other. Yeah. We have a private Facebook community where, you have that safety secret code that we are all sworn to, and people are able to be vulnerable. They're able to share what they need to share if they need help. It is an incredible community of people who genuinely care about you. Yes. And about your business. And so if you are somebody who is looking to not only have, you as the incredible being that you are, and a master strategist, truly a master leader, they get your entire team, who is also,
my team is awesome.
You guys, I'm like, when do you sleep? You guys are on it 24/7. You feel like you're.
Oh no, we're really not, though. That's
I know.
We just are so systemized up that it feels like that, because I am constantly like, everyone take a 4-day weekend. Like, let's go. I mean, we just took off 2 weeks at Christmas, but yes, my team is very on top of our clients to make sure we provide exceptional service.
Yeah, no, I mean, but from my perspective, it's like, to me, I know you're not working 24/7, but like, I'm like, how do they do this? Like, it's just like, you're not one of us ever, nothing slips by any of you. And you feel like you're the only client in your world, but yet
that makes me happy.
good. Well, it's the truth. And you feel like it's not, like, you make us feel like it's just us. But then at the end of the day, you just, I mean, my God, everybody in this community, you're like, oh God, like, you know, when we all got together for the holiday party, I mean, we were all, even though we never met, a lot of us had never met in person, it was hugging and kissing and, you know, kiss cheeking, kissing on the cheek.
I'm like, let's see, it wasn't that kind of party.
I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired today. But no, I mean, it's like we all embrace each other. Like, we know each other because there's such a community loving feeling. And if you're looking not only to accelerate and grow your business, but you're also looking for a community of supporters and true friends who genuinely care about you, that you can reach out to for support, this is the place for you. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm staying for as long as I can.
Who do you think, I just want you to say this just because you've been in the community, you get the culture, who's this not a good fit for?
I mean, this is not a good fit for somebody who doesn't want to be, you know, actively engaging in a group of people. It is not for somebody who's looking for a quick fix. You know, it takes work. Kelly gives us the tactics. She gives us the tools. She gives us the strategy, but it's really up to you to do the work. You know, if you are somebody who can't take brutal honesty, this is not the place for you either. I mean, you've got to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to take the constructive criticism, but also if you're somebody who's looking for a cheerleading team, we have got a freaking squad on board. So,
yes, we do.
I can't imagine anybody doesn't want that, but you know, this really is a community. And if you're willing to give, this is the place for you. If you are just looking for a quick fix or something to take and to head out, that's not what this is. This is an investment. And we've all invested not just in ourselves, but we invest in each other and we invest in this community.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Miss Wendy, I'm so thankful that you joined us today. Thank you for sharing your tips with everyone. If you are someone who, or know someone who is going through a divorce and would like this badass on your side, where can they find you? They
can find me here on Facebook, Wendy Sterling, or you can reach me on my website, wendysterling.net. And I'm on Instagram. My handle's @divorcerehab_with_Wendy.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today. You guys, if you are interested in learning more about the Profitology Business Incubator and what that is all about, you can go look at profitologybusinessincubator.com. We've got a little button down below that where you can connect to our team if you've got questions. This program is always open for enrollment. We are capping the community at 150 people, and there is an application process. So you essentially go on there. If you feel like it's the right fit for you, you enroll. If for some reason it is not a good fit, we will tell you, because we are very conscious about the community we are creating. And there's definitely like a very specific culture and type of person that we are looking for. And if for some reason it's not a good fit, then we'll just refund your money right away. This is a year-long program. But people, I have a feeling people are going to be staying a lot longer than that.
Oh yeah.
So awesome. Thanks so much. I know Wendy's like, I'm never leaving. I'm moving in.
Yeah.
All right. Much love to you, darling. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching us today. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.